It's been a great journey. For all of you guys that are joining us tonight, let's create some context. First of all, who is tonight for? Tonight is for anyone who is an affiliate member, which is an affiliate influencer or influencer pro of Shoply at any time. Some of you maybe signed up and didn't start. Some of you have started and stopped, and some of you have started and kept going. So everybody's kind of in a different little spot who's checking in tonight. We appreciate that. And what you should expect this evening is a discussion in three, sections. Section one, I'm gonna talk about how we got here. What was the Shoply discussion? How do we get to where we're at in this moment? Number two, we're going to talk about the categories or buckets of what Shoply 3.0 is going to impact and affect, because it's, I think, a lot greater than you may understand. And then lastly, we're going to talk about the timeline of Shoply 3.0. For the last 60 days, it's actually 67 days today, maybe. We made a trip to Phoenix 67 days ago to meet with, one of our tech partners. And from that point on, we have been as buried as you can get in creating the appropriate map and finding the best partners for all of the build out to make sure that we deliver you guys a 3.0 that is not better. That's not an evolution. I guess it could be a correct term, but it's light years beyond what it is that we currently have today and where we're at. We've had lots of very deep discussion of the last couple months as to, how much of this do we rush something out, or do we make sure that we hit a lot of the buckets of the company, almost all of them, to deliver a much greater company. And that's what we've been up to recently. But let's go back to the beginning. Let's go back to, it's less than a year ago. It's 11 months that we started conversating. It's about 10 months ago that we started enrolling in an invitation tool. So 10 months ago, we came to you guys and we said, we're going to try to do something that's never been done before. It's going to be the hardest thing ever done by a magnitude in the history of the direct sales industry, period, in the story. It's not even close. We're going to try to bring in 150 plus countries, localized businesses, localized vendors, localized products, build anywhere that you can. We're going to try to bridge the gap between leaders in the networking space and the influencer space. We're going to try to create a model that defends against, where the industry's at today, which is most companies just deleting their entire comp plan and just making it an influencer model. It's just every month or two, another major former billion-dollar brand eliminates its entire, multi-level comp plan and moves to just an influencer model. So, there was all of these slides of the problems that we're attempting to solve. And all of those problems are solved via the technology. And making a website in one or two countries with a couple products in one or two countries that are owned by the same company, not two different companies, making a website, a couple products, a couple countries. Guys, it's not hard to do. It's not hard to do at all. Happens every day. It happens every day in the core ecosystem. Every month, it happens in the core ecosystem. So that's not a new idea. But what we all chose to set out on with Shoply is by far a new idea. And as promised, we said this is going to be extremely difficult. And, you hope to be wrong, but we weren't wrong. It was extremely difficult. And the tech side of this has been an absolute monster of a Rubik's Cube. I don't know if that translates in every country, but a Rubik's Cube. It's been a Rubik's Cube. And we feel like we are now getting closer and closer and closer to solving the puzzle of how to do this. And guys, most of the solving doesn't have anything to do with, traditional sales and marketing. It has everything to do with merchant accounts, taxation internationally, laws, contracts, tariffs, shipping, softwares internally to make all that communicate. The Rubik's Cube that we're trying to solve has everything to do with all the stuff that has to do with operations. Nothing to do with the fun stuff that we like to do. But I felt like I always tried to communicate, and the guys always try to communicate that this is beta, this is beta, this is beta, this is beta. We said we're going to be in beta for about a year. We said that most people who are going to pioneer are going to disappear by the time we get it right and it starts to explode. And we said the ones that stuck it out were the ones that are going to be, the owners of that new frontier. And it's really easy for people to say yes, get excited about something, and then leave. It's very easy. But here's my big question. Go where? Is anyone at all solving the issue of how to build a team worldwide and have it not be, because I've always said these two things, have it not be some trading software or the next travel deal that's going to go out of business. Side note, I know travel's big right now. Never in the history of direct sales networking has a travel company made it, ever. Never one. So there's a reason why, our partner isn't big on that idea, because they don't make it. Every single one of them's gone out of business. Well, the trading software idea, that's starting to go away. So what is it that, back to the crypto scam? Like, how do we as team builders build something all across the world? How do we do something that is product based, that's going to last, that's going to build in over 100 countries? How do we do that? That's what Shoply has set out to solve. How do we meet influencers where they're at? It's easy to say, well, I don't want to become an influencer. That's fine, but that's where the world's going faster than it's ever gone before. So that means everyone you want to recruit is going to be an influencer, meaning they're going to use social media to sell product. Again, remember, an influencer is just somebody who uses social media to sell something or to get paid to promote something. Sorry, both of those things. So if you're going to build a team, you got to be able to build something for influencers of the future. And we just believe that when Terry LaCour approached each of us separately, some of us a year and a half ago, some of us less, and when he brought this we would call it, from the book Good to Great, we would call it a BHAG, a big, hairy, audacious goal. When he brought it to us and gave us the idea, and it solved the problems that it solves, we all said the same thing, which is, well, I can't go back to just selling a bag of shake in a couple countries after hearing this idea, because this idea is the future. And we're committed to solving whatever it needs to be solved in order to deliver this idea to go do something that breaks records, that just supersedes traditional direct selling. So that's kind of historically. Big idea, big delivery, not easy. Didn't deliver on a lot of things we wanted to deliver on. The stuff we did deliver on works in the countries that we needed to work in, doesn't work in all the countries. It's got different challenges, blah, 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 blah. But what we did do, and Rod always reminds me of this, because, I hate losing time. Oh, I hate losing time. And Rod reminds me every day. without the last year, we actually wouldn't know the problem we were trying to solve. Because the last year of you guys working with us, showing us the objections or the challenges or the issues or ideas or things we've never seen or thought of before, we wouldn't know the roadmap to solving this Rubik's Cube. So I think every single one of you, whether you just enrolled, did some work and quit, or you've been here working since day one, I honor every single one of you, because it's been each of you that's allowed us to get to the point where we can solve the issues that this problem has to have solved in order for it to absolutely explode. I'm going to stop there, kick it to Ron and Ron, let them talk for a couple minutes, and then we're going to jump to part two. You're both muted.
Yeah, had to unmute. Sorry. You know, I do think it's really important, and I will echo your thanks that you're giving to those that are here with us today on this Zoom. Yeah, you've been great. You've been working with us, sticking with us, experiencing it with us, which is important. I think it's really important because I think your vision gets honed by those experiences. So we're very excited about what we've been doing. As Nick mentioned, yeah, we spent the better part of 2 months pretty much, you know, snorkel deep, at least underwater, going through all of the tech, everything that you're going to hear tonight. So very excited. Ron, you want to share a little something? That'd be great. My take on it is love it, Nick. I'm happy to be able to share this with the field tonight, with everybody here who's been so disciplined and so loyal. Fantastic. Thank you.
I want to praise the people we've met along the way here. Clearly some innovative people, some trailblazers, some trailblazing people we have in this company. And they're some of the most beautiful people. Just know one thing, folks, if Shopee were real estate, this is that big, beautiful city before everybody got there. People are going to be coming here sooner or later. You're here early. You get to interpret what that means. It can either mean nothing to you or it can mean something great to you. You're on tonight as we rekindle this beautiful vision and fire. And I won't steal the thunder. What Nick's going to probably hint a couple things as he goes forward tonight, but I won't steal the thunder. But it's been worth the wait. I'm just telling you right now. Just remember, I said that it'll be worth the wait for you when you hear the news. You may not hear tonight, but you hear some of it, get some hints. And but I'll tell you what, guys, the people we've met, I just want to praise each and every one of you and thank you for helping us get to this point. This is not the time to get tired. This is the time to really get your second boost of energy, because this is where it's all going to happen, guys. So with that, I'll turn it back over to you guys.
Thanks, buddy. So guys, it's been one heck of a journey so far. In the short term, you know, the last year has felt like 5. You know, I didn't have half of this gray hair until the last year. But in the long term, the last year is going to mean nothing in the grand scheme of things. So let's go kind of big picture. I think a lot of people are assuming that we're going to have some technology updates. Maybe it's some feature updates, enhancements, etc. And what the buckets that we're going to cover with you guys really briefly, some of them are already done, meaning we've already done all the work the last 70 days. Some of it's all mapped out and working, and the rest of it's mapped out and has to get done. So when you see the buckets, and I start to cover these, I want you to go back to this quote or this idea of, we made the decision, let's make sure we touch just about every part of the company. Basically an entirely brand new company when we come back out hardcore, guns blazing, as opposed to just a little bit of an update of a website or whatever. So Stacey, if you want to pull up the slides there. You know, we're going to be making our cut over here from, 2.0 to 3.0. And what are some of those categories that we're touching? You might have some tech issues your way, Stacey. Is that the challenge? Oh, here we go. So new licenses is the first place or not the first place. It's one of the things that you're not only going to see new benefits, new price points, but you're also going to see actually new licenses as well. You will not see them tonight. All I'm going over tonight, guys, is categories of things that we are enhancing, changing, improving, completely innovating. But licenses will be the first thing that you should expect is going to get a makeover. If you have next slide, please. If you remember off the top of your head, this is our current licenses, right? And you should expect changes in literally even new licenses that don't even exist here today. Benefits, features, some price points, and some new licenses that currently aren't there. Okay, let's move forward. What else should you expect? You should expect, and this is approximately half of the incentive plan is getting an overhaul. What new behaviors need to be driven? Where does that income need to go? What new bonuses? What new psychology top down do we need to put in place to make sure this engine really moves and it moves quickly? So if you just thought, hey, we might get a new website overhaul, no. We're talking about new licenses. We're talking about at least half the incentive plan is going to get a facelift. Let's go to number 3. The entire vendor experience, and I know most of you guys will be celebratory on this. The entire experience is getting nuked A to Z, and a complete overhaul. And I won't overquote Rod. I remember what our tech partners had committed. I'll just say, you'll never have to worry about the average KYC stuff that we had to worry about in the past. You won't have to worry about that stress anymore. You won't have to stress about manual contracts being signed or contracts being sent around or which emails the contract sent to. You won't see the same difficulties in lots of the countries. Let's say as we go into smaller countries, you should see significant speed in some of those countries. And what used to take us 2 months, that then took us 1 month, that then took us about 2 weeks, will happen. And I'm going to go with 2 hours or less, but our tech partners believe much, 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 much quicker. So yes, it's taking us longer to get to where we had wanted to be in terms of where the tech, but we made the decision to examine everything. Like, I remember when Rod said, Nick, if we're going to do this, let's just rip apart each piece of the company. I was like, amen, brother. I'm so happy you said that. So licenses, incentive plan, and 100% of the vendor experience will be nuked, recreated, and relaunched so that a vendor in, let's say, 100 countries could be up and running and selling in 2 hours or less. By the way, Rod and Ron, you can jump in at any time, or otherwise I can finish all these. Finish the next 2 and kick it to you. Up to you guys.
I'll just say you're right on the vendor side. It's super exciting. They will be able to come in. You'll be able, as an influencer pro, you'll be able to introduce vendors, in the grocery store, at a dinner meeting, in the coffee shop, on a plane, wherever you are. You'll be able to introduce them very easily. Given if they have some sort of connectivity, they can go straight into the process right now to join in. They can sell within their country, within their own currency. That's a huge, huge thing for you and for each of you.
I'm sneaking some details out there, buddy. I like it.
There's going to be some amazing jumps in technology for you that I don't think we've even alluded to, and we're going to do our best. It's probably me that's going to slip up and tell you something I shouldn't, but we're going to do our best to keep it keep it really tight as we go through all of it, but I'm just very proud of what we have coming out. Something that we'll all be proud to put our names on. So very
Well,
cool.
I'm going to try my hardest not to spill any beans, because I know Nick's got that bean spill ready to go when he's ready to do that. But I'll just say this, guys. We listened to you guys. We listened to our field. We listened. We looked at the data, and we also looked at the intuition. All these things together to make the right decisions moving forward for this company. We just didn't know. We didn't know, but we're not giving up. Are you kidding me? We're so excited. We're more excited than we ever have been, because now we know we're on point. We know what we're doing is going to make the most sense. It may not be perfect, but it'll be very progressive. And just know that we're shooting for excellence in every way, shape, and form. But just know that this is a beautiful, beautiful new look at this company. I can't wait for you guys to see it.
Yeah, and Ron, you're correct, because it'll never be perfect. Like even if it's as good as we can make it, it'll never be perfect.
Never perfect, always progress.
Yeah, but this is going to be.
It's going to feel perfect.
It's going to be 100x, guys. The experience, 100x the experience of what we learned in that first year. 100x the experience when we jump from 2.0 to 3.0. Let's keep going. So licenses, incentives, everything about vendors, everything. How about this one? An entirely new marketplace. The marketplace that you guys look at, touch, log into, press buttons on, see, all of it. It is 100% going to go away into something significantly sexier, better, faster, sleeker, all of it. Like we're going to grow up in a very, very short time frame. So imagine when we go to 3.0, guys, better licenses, better incentives. Probably, this is, if I'm thinking out loud right now, but I might change my answer. Probably the biggest leap in terms of progress is going to be for vendors. You know, if the vendor experience on a scale of 1 to 100 started out as a 5 and then jumped to a 20, it's going to start in 3.0 at a 70, and our job is then take it to 100, right? So it's going to be leaps and bounds greater, the vendor experience. And then the second best part of this whole thing probably is going to be the marketplace. And it's going to be, you know, our first marketplace really was for, you know, you guys to go to a place to find products to share. It wasn't super, you know, customer friendly and like I said, sleek and sexy and fast, etc. So I'm elated with what the new marketplace is going to do. So you should expect a completely new marketplace. The current one, as you know it, gone. We may use during some transition periods, we may have to leave up some of the stuff while we transition, but you get the picture. We're going away from the old marketplace, the one you currently have today, completely. And then lastly, a new customer, I'm going to say positioning, a new customer positioning. And Stace, you go ahead and I'll pull this one down. You know, we've had hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of talks with our top leaders, both as groups and also one-on-one, just working with them one-on-one. And ironically, we're going to shift towards where many of you either A, thought we were going to be ready to start with, or B, you caught a vision of an idea, you know, that we weren't necessarily focused on as a company. I can't divulge all of this yet. I will soon. But I think we're going to create a business model that might be the best customer rewards model of any business in the world.
Mm.
And I want to do some more research before I can boldly state that. I can tell you right now, we got to be in the top couple already. So I have huge faith in the idea of how we're going to position our customers as really the lead of the concept, as opposed to the other way around, where it was, we got to go find influencers to go get affiliates to go get customers. this might really end up being a customer machine all over the world with some ideas that have worked already in other models that are successful with other companies. You know, your credit card, for example, some cashback rewards, like things like that. But no one has ever pulled it off on a global scale with localized vendors at the level of rewards that we're talking. So customer position is going to be a huge one. Then lastly, your Shoply partners, your recruiting sites, videos, your presentations, all of that Shoply partners segment, as you know it today, all of that will have a complete overhaul, new videos, new flow, new look and feel, new imagery. So we're essentially redoing almost everything in the company, because the stack that I just gave you was licenses, incentive plan, Shoply partners, vendor enrollment and onboarding and management, and marketplace, the entire marketplace, and the entire positioning or offer for a customer first model. Those are 6 pretty big things. So I know if you're like me and you're impatient, you're like, dang it, I wanted that new website last month. You guys said end of April, early May, I'm pissed. And I don't not understand your perspective. But if we can deliver a better experience across all 6 of those things, 1 times better, 2 times better, 5 times better, in some cases for a vendor, 10 times better, if we can deliver a better experience across every bucket of our business, would you be happy that it took a couple extra months to get all of that done? That's what our conversation is with you guys tonight. It's not, hey guys, sorry, we're behind on the website. It's, hey guys, look, we decided to redo everything, and most of it to be significantly bigger and better and greater and more successful, but we need more time. And I'm going to go through the timeline next. I'm going to bring back on Rod and Rod. Guys, those 6 categories, anything else that you want to reference or share before we talk about timeline, please dive in there.
No, I think you nailed it. I don't want to do anything but give them the good stuff now. Give them the timeline, do everything else, tell them where we're at. So I think you did a good job.
Well, I don't want to get ahead, but I'm excited when we're doing transactions. It's on autopilot. We wake up in the morning, we look at our business and see what they did overnight, because we're global. It's 9 o'clock in the morning somewhere always. And then just the human interaction. Now, this is what I've been waiting for the most, is just that culture, that beautiful connection that we're going to create with all the people around the world in a very abundant conversation. Nick, we appreciate all the work that you and Rod have done. I've kind of been shirt tailing you guys, but I really appreciate both of you and all the hard work you guys do.
Absolutely, our pleasure. And guys, I want to also say this. I forgot to say this in the context. Everything we talked about tonight in your mind is probably going to create a lot of questions that are probably going to go unanswered right now, today, in this moment. Like, I may have just created a whole bunch of questions for you guys, or maybe you're going to have those questions in a couple weeks. But just understand, we number one is we're going to want all these questions. Tonight was not about, here's exactly what we're doing, here's all the exact launches, here's exactly what everything costs, that's not what tonight's call was about. So I would expect you guys are going to have questions, because when you have so much evolution and things integrating and things growing and things improving and things in some cases just changing, that creates a lot of questions, and it's going to. And we're going to be ready for that, and we're going to expect that, as long as you guys are ready to put your sprinting shoes on and run like crazy with us. So I'm going to close this part before I go to I'll close the whole call with that later. Okay, go ahead and let's go ahead and talk timeline. All right, here's our timeline. Right now, until the event we're going to talk about in a moment, there's only two things that you should be doing. Number one is to build, and number two will be to promote this upcoming event that I'm going to reveal in just a second. So what should you be building right now? You should not be acquiring any more vendors. I've said this last Monday, I'll say it again. Do not acquire any new vendors. We're not taking any new vendors. It might still be live for the moment, but it's going to be turned off because we do not want to bring a new vendor into the old marketplace. We need them to wait to come into the new onboarding process and into the new marketplace. So what you should be doing is there's about 150 plus vendors, all with great products, great rewards, great pricing that you can share every single day onto your social media and make money with every single day. Number two is you could pick 2 or 3 of those vendors and you could still go build a team. You can add a couple new people between now and when we go live, as long as you explain to those people that we're in a transition period, but you would rather have them in now getting trained than in later not getting trained. And all of you guys understand that there are people you can do that with and people you can't. Okay, let's hit the next slide. July 18th and 19th. I apologize, I forgot to have you add that, Miss Stace. So 18, 19. And something popped up today that we have to debate a little bit further. We're going to release the city. That date is 100% locked. That date is a go. But the city is either going to be Dallas or Miami. Give us 48 hours. So once we know this, we'll release it. And it will be it'll be first come, first serve for RSVP. But at least you guys have a date locked. And we'll let you guys know on the location ASAP. However, let's talk about this event. This event is going to be for people of influence only. So either existing Shoply affiliate members, AKA all of you, or people of influence who are prospects, people that are successful in business, people that are great online, people that are good in direct sales, network marketing, people who are influencers, people who are talented, people that have influence, period, whatever their career, public servants, right? Teachers, coaches, pastors, people that lead for a living, people that understand influence, sales, or leadership. Those categories are people that we're going to be inviting to this to help us then click pre-invite into the launch of 3.0. Next click, please. Thank you. So come August, we're going to start using and pre-building in a software tool pre-invitations of people signing up for free, pre-building the team, pre-building your organization, and then the first half of September, we will enroll everyone, meaning we'll start swiping everyone's credit cards. You should then, guys, if you're looking at this, this is telling you that in August, Shoply will go offline for enrollments. We won't be enrolling any new affiliates. We're not going to be enrolling any new vendors starting now. So this is no new vendors. In August, we'll shut down of enrollment for affiliates and we'll go straight to the invitation tool only. And September, the chaos will begin. First half of September, everyone will enroll. second half of September, we're going to onboard all the vendors. Guys, we have one person saying they can't see any of the slides. Is that true for all of you, or can the rest of you see the slides?
No, we can see it.
Thank
Or
you.
at least I can see it, but I'm a host. I'm a co-host. So
Yeah, let's have one person in the Q&A tell us if you can see it.
yeah, somebody hit us up in Q&A. Can you see the slides?
Okay, thank you. Got it.
Perfect.
Keisha's just you, love. All right.
Hey, Nick, while we're at it and you're talking through this, folks, if you have an opinion on location, go ahead and drop that in the Q&A as well. Okay, let's go.
Okay, late September. Late September will be vendor onboarding. Now, the difference between 1.0 and 2.0 is 3.0 vendor onboarding can be done in 30 minutes to 90 minutes, maybe less. So we're going to prep you guys right when you enroll to go identify and pre-sell your vendors for late September. Now, we really thought about this. This is very different than what we did with 1.0. 1.0, we released a marketplace with no vendors. We made the decision not to do that this time. We're going to release the vendor app only first. Then we're all going to go get 500 vendors or more as fast as we can. And then in mid-October, we're going to release the marketplace. So Shoply.com is the marketplace, but we will have an app that vendors, a private app that vendors will download in order to onboard. So I want to make sure I'm setting the expectations correctly. August, everyone's going to pre-enroll in a pre-invitation tool. Early September, your new people will swipe credit cards. They'll sign up. You guys will just import over. You're already signed up. New vendors and old vendors will import into the app for vendor onboarding. And then mid-October, we'll turn on a marketplace. And I'm going to predict 500 plus vendors day one of the new marketplace. That's my prediction. It could be more. It could be 1,000. And I know for those of you guys that have been with us for a year and actively going after vendors, you have a feeling of concern or disbelief right now. I'm just telling you, if you knew what I knew, you would know that we can put in 500 to 1,000 vendors in 30 days if we do this right. Because we don't have to do KYC. We don't have to go sign manual contracts that are being sent around. We don't have to have a department somewhere reviewing each document, looking at the documents, saying yes or saying no. Guys, and I tell you, they will download an app and then go through a couple clicks, a couple decisions, some yeses, some nos, hit submit, and they're going to be up in the marketplace. We might have the only delay on that would be whether or not we choose to control turning them on or letting it be automatic, which we might control it just to make sure we're getting the right vendors and not a bunch of, fake stuff, right? So you're going to have a less than 24-hour turnaround of every vendor. And I will also tell all of you, those of you who are active in July, I would tell your whole team to go get active. If you guys don't remember what active is a paid subscription plus your 100 and your personal volume. Those of you guys that are active in July, you're going to be considered part of that pioneer group that's going to receive an early reward in August, a slight advantage over everybody else. So I'm telling you all now, get everybody active for the month of July. You got a couple weeks, you got 10 days to get everybody back on board and get them active. Because when we cut over and we give you your early reward that we don't give to everybody else, you're going to be very happy you're active, and then some of them are going to be annoyed. All right, I'm going to stop with the rant. I'm going to kick it over to my brothers here to backfill anything that I missed or said or messed up.
No, keep going.
Because I'm done
Yeah,
on this
please.
section. I'm going to move to close out here in just a second. So anything on the timeline from you guys?
No, I
just
love
want-
it.
great.
I don't think
It'll work.
I don't think you can overestimate or emphasize the difference in the vendor path for people. It really is about finding vendors. I don't know how to say it without saying it. Finding vendors almost that are already existing, ready right now, easy to go. It'll be like flipping a light switch on, relatively speaking.
It would be like an original computer versus the what you can do on your cell phone right now. For the vendor experience, So they're going to be excited. Nicolette said, can you explain active in July? Active means your subscription is active and you have your 100 in PV. We're going to consider that group of people our pioneering group, the group that was here from the beginning, the group that got beat up, the group that helped us solve the problems, the group that showed us what works and doesn't work, all of it. And we have some different ideas, and we might do a lot of them, but we have some different ideas of how we're going to reward that group of people. And we'll tell that group of people what that is in August. So I'm not going to release what that is now. I'll tell everybody what it is in August. But let's get everybody active from your past team who has any life left in them. You know, the ones who are gone are gone. The ones that are haters are haters. The ones that are mad are mad. The ones that are angry are angry. But the ones who are just on pause, let's go on. It's time to unpause them, right? It's time to go unpause them. We have to go unpause. Reggie, the answer is yes. You'll be able to use, if you didn't use your 2 tokens yet, just make sure you're active in July. There's a difference between people that are on pause, people that are quiet, people that are even doing other things right now. Like we know the future is people can do different stuff. But there's difference between those people and the ones that are mad, angry, or haters, or purposely trying to rip down what you built to try to fulfill some new contract they have from some company that's going to go away in 60 days. You know, the same old BS that those individuals do year after year after year. I want everybody who believes in this idea back. It would be the greatest joy to see them win and succeed because they believed in us early. But I'm also going to share I am prepared. And guys, hopefully this translates to you as a leader as well. I am prepared to do this alone if I had to. Thank God I don't have to. Thank goodness I know I got Rod alongside me and Ron alongside me and Craig in Australia alongside of me and Stacy alongside of me and all of you who are pretty active, Tito and Hazen, you guys that are super active in this thread alongside, right? But I'm prepared for July 18th, 19th. I'm prepared to go recruit as if no one else is showing up and no one else is going to put a person in that room. And it's the same thing you have to prepare for yourself. You have to prepare that nobody's coming with you. And after, God, I hate sounding this old. In August will be my 27th year anniversary, 28th? Oh, 28th year anniversary of this industry. And this is a sad truth. New people don't know and don't care what happened up until the day they joined. They just don't. So when the new people all walk into 3.0, they're not going to feel bad for anybody. They're not going to slow down because they feel sad for somebody that a year ago went through pioneering hell. They're not going to not call and recruit a bunch of people you know because they felt bad for you because you were here first. It's actually one of the craziest dynamics. New people don't know and don't care, and original people, not old people, but original people want to make sure new people know how bad it was. Meaning, let me say that again. Original people who are not building anymore, instead of building, they want to infect the new people with what didn't work from the past. It's the only way that they can stay relevant. Right? Because there's only two ways that you can stay relevant: produce results or gossip. Right? I got to stay relevant. What do I stay relevant about? Oh, well, you weren't here a year ago when this didn't work, or 6 months ago it was hell. It was terrible. But a builder builds. A builder builds. We can't build the future off the stories of things that didn't happen or didn't work or didn't deliver of the past. Those don't work. Those two ideas don't work. You can only build the future with new wood and new nails. Like, let's go. Like, we got to go build. So every one of you all, you deserve what's coming. You deserve the success, the wins, the victory, the W's, the income. You deserve it. And you deserve it because you are the ones that helped us understand how this needs to work. And ironically, guys, again, most of the changes and decisions are all stuff that I could spend 2 hours talking to you about. It would be so boring. You wouldn't care. And you'd be like, this is the dumbest thing. Why are we talking about this? But unfortunately, remember when I started, I said there's no one that's ever tried to do what we're doing. Because what we're trying to do is so hard to figure out on international taxation, shipping, merchant of record, which is credit card processing, fraud alerts, enrollment of blah, 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 shipping, everyone's integration of, do they have enough product or they don't have enough product? Like all this stuff that Rod lives and breathes. We think we've got a solution that's not perfect, Rob, but I don't know. The new solution is 10 times, 20 times, 50 times better than the original. I don't know.
Yeah, at least. And I'm gonna jump in here and say a couple of things from some questions or some statements. I think, I love this from James. Believer day one, it will not change. Melissa, been with us for a long time. I'm going to tag my name on because she specifically mentioned Nick. So it's great. I mean, I love the support. Somebody asked, what kind of vendors would you go after? For me, it's simple. The kind of vendors you want to buy products from, those are the ones you should go after. The kind that your friends and family and people on your team would want to buy products from, those are the ones you should go after. Those are the ones you should be aligning.
There's going to be one filter above that, and you're going to learn that filter July 18th, 19th.
Exactly.
Filter A is going to be who also do blank.
Yes. Can't tell you that filter.
Yeah. But guys, I can tell you that the tech integration that we're making is going to give you access to massive vendors globally in 175 countries, totaling the millions upon millions upon millions. And what's interesting about sometimes giving things structure is it tells people exactly what to do. We're going to give you, you're going to know the list of who you can go after. As opposed to you can go get anybody, it's going to be you can go get anybody on this list of millions in 180 countries.
Yeah, I mean, I think if I were saying it, I would say that, we train, and one of the mantras of our industry has been, getting away from linear income, right? Being able to leverage income. Well, the same thing is true on our side of the business in terms of ops and technology. We're trying to leverage technology, leverage relationships, make it as smooth as possible to do what we're all trying to collectively accomplish. And so the new relationship and the new tech and the new ability with vendors will make it so that we're all of us corporately and together as a group, we're all in a leveraged position, which allows us to take advantage of the hard work and the heavy lifting that's been going on in industries around us, and stay focused on what we do best, which is introducing products and services to friends and family, colleagues, building teams of distribution and consumption. That's what we do to leverage our time, and that's what the new tech and the new release in September is going to bring for everybody. So take a deep breath, get prepped, because all of that's there. And I think we're going to be, our industry is going to be all out of excuses come September, October.
Amen. Ron, closing thoughts from you before I give a closing thought and I'll jump off. Okay, guys, we're going to rerun this same call every Monday as we get closer and closer and closer. The intention of rerunning next Monday is for you to go back to anybody that you ever enrolled, have them come on Monday. If they don't watch the recording, we'll do a better version because it'll be the second time. But do not put prospects on, because they're not going to understand any of this. Prospects, all you need to do is let's invite them to the location that I'm going to give you. As soon as we release the location, in the next 24 minimum, 48 into the next morning maximum, 48 to 60 hour maximum, you guys should have the location of where we're going to be. Right now, if I'm you, doing 3 things. I'm getting my old affiliate members back engaged and trying to get them out to the event. I'm posting every day our existing vendors so that you can keep products selling and money being made. And then number 3, I'm finding my new wave. Who's your 3.0 wave? And you don't need anybody but you to create a 3.0 wave. This company is anybody's company. We are the biggest leaders yet to join. The most successful person's yet to join. And they should come through you. And they should join through you. It's been 10 months. We started on August 20th, I think. So is that 10? July? Yeah, 10 months, almost to the day. 10 months ago, we enrolled for the first time 4 days from now. It's been a journey. It's been a learning curve. It's been humbling. It's been visionary. It's been amazing to think outside the box. It's been exciting to get the fire about building something worldwide, new, fresh, solving issues, solving problems, uniting worlds. It's been hard. It's been sad at some points. But all of that's a part of every journey of success.
Yep.
We could be doing anything. We could be making cookies, and I would have said all of those words. We could be a cookie company. Because that's just the journey of entrepreneurship, y'all. But don't forget, the 3 of us have been there before at the highest level, like not at a little level. Like, hey, these guys have sold $1 million before. I mean, guys, I've almost made $1 million in a month selling products through a downline, like in commission. Like, I'm talking about selling billions of dollars worth of stuff between us. We've earned probably nearing $100 million in our careers between the 3 of us or more. So you better believe that we're as competitive and pissed off that we are where we are as we are humbled, right? I'm still as competitive and pissed as I am humbled But I can confidently say to you guys, because I've been in nonstop meetings for the last 4 months on these topics, that we made the right decision to wait. We also made the right decision to overhaul everything, not just a marketplace. And we're still going to see bumps and bruises out of the gates. Like, it's going to go online. You guys are going to find misspelled words, something that doesn't work, a link that's dead, errors. You know the drill. But it's going to be 10, 20, 30 times better. And the vendor experience might be 100 times better.
Hey, Nick.
Yes, sir. So
Sorry
I'm wrapped.
about that. I was
I'm
having some
wrapped.
Wi-Fi.
I'm good. Ron, over to you. Take us home.
I was having some Wi-Fi issues, folks. This conversation represents the greatest leadership conversation we could ever engage in. It's this. You know, sometimes it's very important to be fresh, not to be jaded or know-it-all, or I know everything, I'm knowledge on ice, but to be fresh is everything. So I'm going to challenge everybody to say, look, I know what you heard tonight sounds great. Sounds great to me too. I'm a very intuitive human being. I listen to all the facts, all the figures, all the things that we're gathering. It rings as truth and a very beautiful opportunity to boot. So what I would say to you guys is this. You can become fresh right now just by saying, making that a choice. It's if you can shift as quickly as you want to on a dime as you wish to be fresh and ready to go on this whole thing. You don't need to be right. You don't, look, victim of things happen to me, responsible of things happen through me. This is your opportunity to be so responsible, it's not even funny, and just say, you know what? Maybe your organization is just waiting for you to say, you know what? I'm still committed. I'm committed. Let's go. Let's make this whole thing work. And when you do that, that's all they're waiting to hear. It's just that kind of an acknowledgement. So I challenge each and every one of us to do that tonight, right now, because we said so, and just get after it. So Nick, beautiful presentation. Way to stand in front of it and own it. Love it. Rod, you too. Appreciate both of you guys.
Rod, you're muted, brother. Rod, you're muted. Rod, start again.
I should be more professional at this point. I'm trying to keep the laughter down on this side, and I mute myself out. Listen, I just want to say thank you to Nick. Thank you to Ron. Nick, thanks for leading the call tonight. Stacy, thank you for your help as always. Very, very exciting what we have going forward here. We have now between here and the next week to load up next week's call and bring the appropriate people on so that we can continue to lay more information on, which we will do as we go. Same presentation, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more leading up into July. So thank you, Nick. This is Rod Larson on behalf of all the executive team and all the members here at Shopley. Larson out. Thank you so much.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.